face front to back. We'll take a good hard look at the structure of his brain, looking at the gray and white matter composition, the size of different structures.
The gray matter is the processing, decision-making part of the brain. White matter is effectively the wiring that connects everything together. After the brain scan, Nathan played some difficult video games, while they recorded the magnetic impulses from his brain.
Let's see what happens now. This guy's good.
Rex normally tests college students with average IQs. This is the first time they'd seen a 162 IQ brain in action.
He's rocking.
Would the results show any physiological difference?
We were very surprised by the results of the analysis we did on Nathan's brain. His brain actually was smaller in particular key regions than the average IQ controls we compared him to. He had less gray matter.
Normally in brains, big is best. Having lots of gray matter is better for thinking, but not for Nathan.
This implies that Nathan's brain has organized itself in such a way that the things that he can do more automatically are done more automatically. He doesn't have to use as much brain tissue to get to that ultimate solution. It's like a Maserati versus some big Hummer that uses a lot of energy. He is processing things more efficiently in his brain.
So Rex Jung's research suggests that high IQ brains are different from ordinary brains. But will that help Nathan with our next test?
Relationships. I don't think any IQ in the world is going to help. It's going to help make that easier.
Some of us do seem to understand what's happening behind other people's thoughts. We can read their faces, judge the emotional undercurrents. This ability is known as emotional intelligence. As a dramatist, Bonnie Greer should have a high emotional intelligence.
I was talking in 11 months, and my mother would say that I haven't stopped since. Abbott has this great gift of being able to mix anarchy and it lessens actually.
Exactly
hang on, it lessens his own stories. Every moment feels real. I know. Let me finish, gentlemen. What I'm trying to say is, obviously, Whitman's in there for some reason.
Bonnie Greer grew up in working-class Chicago. From the age of 8, she was writing plays for her classmates to perform. She's now had plays staged in the US and the UK, written a novel, and is a respected critic in the arts and culture.
Reading other people's emotions was one of the things you have to have a feeling for if you write drama. You have to kind of like be, I guess you'd say, a scientist of human nature. So I feel really strong about that.
In this test, we're assessing how well R7 can read other people, and how well they can recognize their own emotions.
Rate the emotion of this girl on a scale of 1 to 5, from extreme happiness to no happiness, extreme fear, no fear. What mood might be useful to feel when meeting the in-laws for the first time? Tension, surprise, joy?
Can you reliably measure emotions? This test was developed by several American academics, including Professor Jack Mayer.
Feel free to call me either Jack or John or whatever you like. Hey you know, whatever. Emotional information was looked down upon. People said, well, emotions are unreliable. There's no, you can't really quantify it. You can't systematize it. Even though philosophers had been systematizing it over a number of decades, nobody recognized the importance of that.
Jack Mayer's tests assume that we can gauge emotional reactions even to images like these. Do these pebbles make you happy? And that some of us are better than others at deciphering faces in ways that can be measured.
There are now experts who say, well, the correct answer to, the way you identify a happy face is this way, and this is a happy face, and that is not. And now our job is much easier because we can go to those, proto-textbooks and say, well, okay, we have right answers to the test now.
After the tests, R7 were given their scores by the test company's psychologist.
That's it.
This time, it was Alex who objected.
I don't think, it's not you who designed this test, is it?
No.
I don't think the person who designed this test has much emotion. Because he hasn't chosen things that are emotional. Even the floor is more emotional than pebbles. Honestly. Honestly, it is. Look at it. At least it's got some sort of geometric pattern. Look, it's black and white and grey with these beautiful lines. It's got something more. Happiness, 1 to 5, 3. What emotion do you feel from a lamp?
Okay.
Look at that, please. Let's look at it.
I'm not very good at
1 to 10.
abstract, so-
1 to 10. What emotion do you feel? Disgust, 1 to 10.
Did I pass or fail?
You scored slightly lower on the faces.
Slightly. 65?
But, yeah.
That's being
So-
kind.
How can there be a right and wrong answer to emotion?
Surprisingly, considering we picked some real high flyers, none of our 7 scored above average. Even Bonnie. She did do well at understanding people, but less well at understanding herself.
Oh, I'm slightly under in managing myself. That's probably true.